Hey moviegoers, this is the Movie Critic and welcome to another movie review. Today the movie I'm going to be reviewing is In the Heights. Before I get into the video, I would just like to say that I, as a YouTuber and as a content creator, I'm very sorry for the lack of commitment that I've had during these last couple of weeks. I was sick a couple 2 weeks ago. And I just felt lazy for some reason. Also, I'm very sorry if the light's a little bit distracting. I usually do videos at night, but I wanted to do this during the daytime. I might get curtains later on, but it doesn't matter. But I just want to say I'm very sorry for not posting at the times I was supposed to. I will make many videos from now to this weekend. Please make sure to look out for those. But yeah, I just want to say I'm very sorry, and I'll get back on the road when it comes to movie reviews, because I want to make sure that I give you guys the best movie experience possible. Before we get into the video, make sure to smack the like button, and if you want to be a part of the Moviegoers, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell on the side to get future information on videos in the near future. Now that I said all of that, let's get into the review. And action. Directed by John M. Chu, In the Heights takes place in the city of Washington Heights, New York, where the scent of warm coffee hangs in the air just outside of the 181st Street subway stop, where a kaleidoscope of dreams rallies a vibrant and tight-knit community. At the center of it all is a likable and magnetic bodega owner named Usnavi, who hopes, imagines, and sings about a better life. The In the Heights movie was based off of the Broadway adaptation that was made in 2008 by Lin-Manuel Miranda. The musical would go on to win 4 Tonys during the Tony season of 2008, and it would be very popular for a couple of years until Hamilton came out in 2016, which was also Lin-Manuel Miranda's second Broadway debut. Ever since 7th grade, I have been addicted to the musical theater. My friends introduced me to Hamilton, and at first I didn't know if I would like it that much, but I ended up enjoying it for what it was, and it got me hooked onto the concept of Broadway and musicals in general. And I just liked all the lyrical choices that were made, the different types of genres it had. It had like rap, hip hop, R&B, soul, jazz. It had all of that, and it was just very interesting to see in a Broadway musical like how vibrant it was. I didn't really know that much about In the Heights the musical when I was a musical theater fan. I first heard of the musical when I was in like 9th grade or 10th grade, because I was looking through the discography of Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I saw that he had another musical, In the Heights, and that was his first musical. And I thought that it wasn't really widely known, so I just didn't think of it as a big deal. But then I realized that that musical also got so much recognition and love during the time it was made, and I saw its Tony performance that it had in 2008, and I was very hooked on how raw the music was and how the characters felt like very realistic, how they were just characters living out their days in Washington Heights, and it was just very breathtaking. I won't say it was a breath of fresh air. So imagine how I was when in 2019 in my literature class I looked on YouTube and found out that there was a In the Heights movie in the works, or it was in the works already, and that it was coming out next year. I was so excited. I saw the trailer and I loved it, but I was very sad when I found out that the movie was going to get postponed due to COVID because the pandemic was starting. So I was very sad, but this year I got to see it in theaters with my friends. It was a very awesome experience, and now I'm going to tell you guys my pros and cons about the film and my overall score. As you guys know, this is a spoiler-free review. I will not spoil anything for the movie. I know it's been like 3 weeks since it came out, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't watched it because I want it to be a great experience for people who have a liking for musicals, or just people that really like musicals, or just want to get into the swing of it. So this is a spoiler-free review. Starting off with the pros that I have for the film is the brilliant cinematography that's shown out throughout the entire film, thanks to the great directing of John M. Chu, which I've seen him in like other movies like Crazy Rich Asians, and what he made, like the cinematography, just seeing from the trailers how vibrant almost everything looked. But as I said, the movie is very stunning. There are so many there's like amazing set pieces in the film that just look very breathtaking. And like when it comes to the musical numbers, or when you see the characters that might be dancing, or whenever they're talking, and how the camera work is laid out for certain characters, or just seeing people walk or roam the street, it's very cinematic. I will say that it's really cinematic. It was very fun to watch, and it was very easy on the eyes. I loved it very much. The second pro I have with the film are the characters. In the movie, the characters are very two-dimensional than they were in the actual musical. You could tell that they wanted to add so much more depth to the characters, especially in the main character, Usnavi.
Lights up on Washington Heights up at the dawning. I wipe down the awning. Hey y'all, good morning.
In the original musical, he's very anxious, and he's played by Lin-Manuel Miranda in the Broadway musical. He's very anxious, he's not very outgoing, I guess. He doesn't really have that much of a character like story himself. He's basically just like a narrator, kind of, with a little bit of a plot point in some parts of the musical, but that's basically it. But for the movie, Usnavi, who is played by Anthony Ramos, who was associated with Lin-Manuel Miranda in the past with Hamilton, he is very charismatic, and he has a lot more depth to his character choices, and he has his own sort of struggles that he has when it comes to his dreams and what he wants to accomplish. It's a very surreal journey for Usnavi in this film, and I was very excited. I was very pleased with all of the choices that were made for the character. As for the other characters, he's just the main example for me when it comes to looking at the characters from In the Heights, the movie, compared to In the Heights, the musical. He had more character depth than Usnavi did in the musical. But overall, the characters in this film were very in-depth. I really enjoyed it. The last pro that I have with the film is just the amazing musical numbers that happen throughout the entirety of the movie. It's very, very beautiful. Just like how I said with the cinematography, it's the way that they're shot. It's very majestic. I want to say something more than beautiful because that would be very repetitive, but it's very majestic and it's very extraordinary. You can see how wide of a scope this is compared to the musical, of course, because when it comes to a musical, like on stage, you have sets and you have props. You're not like in an actual setting. You have to make up your own setting when it comes to a Broadway musical. And the Broadway set is beautiful in itself. It's one of my favorite set pieces in Broadway history, kind of. I wouldn't say it's number one, but it's like in my top 10. But the movie, when it's actually set in the actual place, because they actually went to Washington Heights and they filmed the movie. The musical numbers, they're very majestic to watch, especially 96,000. Because when I had first heard of how, like, where it was going to be shot in the pool, like in the community pool, I was very scared of what they were trying to accomplish. But when I actually saw it in theaters, I was very blown away by the choices that they made for the characters and how they sung their parts and rapped their parts and how the ensemble danced. Probably it was very mind blowing. It was honestly probably my second favorite musical number in the film. My first favorite musical number probably has to be Abuela Claudia's musical number, Paciencia y Fe, or Patience and Faith, because that was just beautifully shot and it was very emotional for the character, for what happens to them. If you don't know the musical, won't spoil, but it was very beautiful. But the whole entirety of just the musical numbers, it was very well shot, very well done, and very well fleshed out. Okay, so the only con that I would say that I really have with this film when it comes to comparing it to the musical is that it made a lot of changes. And I'm not just talking about the characters, although that plays a role in it too, but there are some changes that I know that a lot of musical lovers of In the Heights will probably not like. The thing that I really have to say is if I wanted a musical movie that was just like the actual Broadway show, then there wouldn't be any point of it actually being made. A movie musical shouldn't be a carbon copy of the actual thing. It should be able to try new things, and if there was some questions that were probably left out in the Broadway musical run, then they can be answered in the film. Or they want to go in depth with this character or go in depth with this situation that happened in the musical, they can test that out in the movie and try to build off of it and see what happens. What I can say is that this movie musical was very experimental, and that's why I really like the stylistic choices that it made. It doesn't really matter to me with the changes. It really didn't make me upset. I was just very shocked by a lot of the changes that happened, especially the changes at the end. But it shocked me in a good way. But that's like the only con, really, the changes. I don't really have a con with it, but that's basically that's basically the con of this film. In the Heights is a movie musical that tells the story of Washington Heights and the people that live within it. With its beautiful cinematography, flamboyant choreography, and in depth characters that are better than its predecessor in the Broadway musical world, it just gives a very great plot in terms of how the original musical was. While there are many changes in terms of the plot and the characters, it's very stylistic and very experimental to where I really don't have a problem with it, and I think others who really enjoy the musical will probably not either. It's not for everyone, but I'm pretty sure that there will be a good range of people that really enjoy the changes. On the scale, I give this movie a diamond status. Okay, so this outro is not going to be as long as it usually is, but I just wanted to say that once again, I'm really sorry for the lack of commitment that I've had over these past few weeks. I really want to make it up to you guys by posting videos that I should have posted weeks ago this week. I might try to push for that because I really want to make up for all of the lost times that I've had, all the movies I could have reviewed. I want to do that all for you guys. So I'm gonna work mostly on all these movie reviews and push them out there. Just push them out there. It's probably gonna be daily. I don't know. It depends on how like when I finish them, but I'm gonna do that. I've also noticed that while recording these, I have been like making the reviews very long. Like Luca was probably the longest video out of the two movie reviews I've made, but with this one being like probably around 16, 17 minutes. But I'm gonna try to make my reviews shorter because I do not want to bore you guys. I just want to give you a quick review and send you on your way. So I will try to make the reviews shorter. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie review. Wherever you are, I hope you guys have a great day or night, moviegoers. That's a wrap.